Trying again for some lobster at Crystal Cove. This day the surf was about a foot. Visibility further out was about maybe 7 feet. As you go further down, maybe a little bit more. But heading straight into the water, it looked pretty promising, about 10-foot viz, 10 foot plus. But then once you hit a certain line, it got really cloudy. So pretty much where we were. So the conditions were not as ideal as expected. But as you can see here, we're looking around, scanning some holes for some lobster. So this dive, no lobster caught, no keepers. Both myself and my dive buddy weren't feeling too great. On top of that, the visibility was not great, and also the surge started to pick up throughout the day. So just not so great towards the end, but we ended up doing a little shorter dive. But you can see here, still checking out some holes, our usual spots where we found some honey holes in the past. And we do end up finding two of them, but no luck there. I'll show you some footage a little bit later. But you can see here, I'm scanning around. I noticed there's a nice little structure here, and on the right hand side of your screen, you can see some 2 lobster, possibly legal. So I wait, hold my hand out, I get a little closer, and before the feelers can feel my hand, I go for it. I grab that lobster, go to the surface, and we go for a measure. So yeah, I have my gauge there, put it right on top of the carapace, and after measuring, it is short right there. So gotta let this guy go, maybe another season. So I did bring the float with the anchor system again that I'm still testing. And you can see me grab it here. And what I'm doing is actually finding that honey hole that the dive buddy of mine spotted. And what I do is actually drop the anchor on top of or close to that honey hole so we can know where to go in these murkier conditions instead of wasting our energy and trying to figure out where to go next. So here we go, trying to strategize to tackle this hole together.
Strategizing right now. Found a honey hole. Both kind of tired today. And just anchored this guy on in front of the honey hole. And then we're gonna dive down. Viz is about 10 feet today.
So once we're rested up, we head down to the hole following that anchor line that we placed earlier. Here is my dive buddy, and we head down. We're looking for the hole, shining our lights, and what I do is I do spot the hole. I point to him, found the hole, go get it, and as he's doing so, I'm actually shining a light, helping him to get some more visibility into that hole. And as he's going for it, I go left to see if there's any lobster shooting out the backside. I don't see anything. I was hoping to grab some on the way out, but no success on that venture. So this was a quick one. Grab the antennas, and I see another one in the hole, so I'm trying to see if this one's going to come out. But I actually caught these 2 guys crawling from, I think it was another hole that we disturbed or tried to go after, and they were actually pretty in the open. I look around to see if I can line up a grab on the other one. I invert, so pretty much laying on my back, trying to see if I can grab it. It gets spooked, runs away, and so I call it quits, head up to the surface, measure this guy, and actually end up letting him go. So this was probably the most notable honey hole that I came across. I'm pretty deep in here, but look at all those lobster. I am way too short to even grab those, so what I'm trying to do is disrupt them, and hopefully they shoot out or try to escape, and I'll catch them on the way out. That plan totally fails, but essentially, it's tough to see here, but I go into that cave and pretty much all the way up until my waist, so I'm pretty deep in there, and I wasn't able to get in there any further to go grab them, but that was a pretty nice hole. So if you see on this clip, there's some Garibaldi, but I want you to pay attention to the floor, because you see those lobster shells right there. Those are molts, and pretty much what happens is when the lobster needs to get bigger, it'll shed its old shell and then leave it. So you can see one right there in the bottom middle, and then you'll kind of see them scattered in this area. And I was hoping that I would see some bigger lobster, because I saw all these molts everywhere, but I actually ended up seeing nothing, and I headed up to the surface. And that wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed some of this content and lobster diving. If you haven't tried it already, I hope and encourage you to try it out. It's pretty awesome, especially catching your own dinner. But if you can support the channel by liking this video and subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. But I hope to see you on the next dive, and hopefully a more successful one.